Hi everyone, welcome again to my channel. I have noticed that the previous video that I have uploaded had some glitch in it, and the last few minutes of me saying something it was not audible to you guys. So don't worry, I will cover that part, the group by part, in this video, because both home tab and transform tab has some kind of similarities. So group by function is also present over here, so we are going to cover this in this video as well. So let's get started. In the previous video I have concluded about the home tab and all the kind of operation that it performs and that it had. So let's move on to the transform tab. The transform tab contains mostly the transformation step that we are going to perform on our data set. So let's get started with the group by. Group by is something that if you have studied about SQL, you have probably know about the group by function. It What it does is group the similar kind of function on the basis of some aggregation. So the same thing that happens in the Power BI or Power Query as well. Like you can see that if I have the same number of order ID or order number, and I want to see that if count the number of orders that have been performed with the same order ID or customer ID, so I will do that by creating the group and by summarizing the values that what customer has ordered, how many orders. So I will do this. I will select order and customer ID. I will select group by function. Give a count of rows. It will give me the count of order placed per customer. Okay. Okay, sorry. In the column that will be associated with it will be a customer ID, and we will be counting that how many orders have placed by the customer on the per customer. We can say that we will choose it count rows or sum of order number, or we can count distinct row. Count function does not allow Count rows function does not allow us to select a particular column that we want. So we will do is add some, or we can say that we can do one thing, we can change the column. We can use is sum of the column number will be say quantity, the quantity that is ordered for the per customer, that's what we really want. So let's click on this and see what happens. After clicking on to the advanced, you can add more aggregation and more grouping of the data. Suppose I want to group by customer ID as well as the order number, so that we can do that. Yeah, you can see that uh, we have these. So my sales table got changed due to this. I will copy this sales table because so that there will be no loss of the data, and we'll delete the grouped row from here because we want the sales data eventually. I have this sales table with me, and the grouped data that we have performed is like this order number has 11 quantity ordered over here. So we can see that by this, by grouping the data, we can see the number of things that was ordered by the customer ID. Similarly, you can do so many operations like this. Suppose you want to see how many classes in there in a particular school, how many teachers are there. You can do the basic aggregation and group your data with the help of a selected column. Okay, let's name it as a group data activity. You can see all of the steps that is applied over here. So if you want to delete or do some changes in this, or you want to see roll back to the thing that you where you have applied all the transformations, and you can do this. This is the perk of Power BI, because it helps you to roll back to your mistake where you can see or debug your code. Quantity order per customer. Next, we have used first row as a header, that we have already done that. And you can see in my previous video that I have covered this topic. Transpose is like, if you have maths or you know something about math, the transpose can be converting your rows into the columns. Like if I click on this customer ID and transpose, it will take a while because there are so many customers. Like you can see that the per customer is converted into the column. Okay, we can use this by creating a use first row as a header. So we can see that the header is the customer ID that we have, and the number of quantity is in the row itself. Next, if I have done this, I will explain you unpivot column with the help of this only. You can select all these data, or we can do one thing is click on this table. I have selected all the columns, then I will click on the unpivot column. What unpivot column does is it converts your convert your column into the rows. So that's what it has done. It is just like a transpose option that we have. The transpose option convert the rows into the columns, but unpivot columns converts the column into the row. The pivot column is same as the transpose one, but in the pivot column you have to select the column that you want to uh, change or convert into the rows. I have the value column that will be uh, replaced. You can see that the same thing that has happened in the transpose tab, it has happened in the pivot column as well. You can read about it more thoroughly in the Microsoft documentation. I will provide this link in the description. You can get the more better understanding with this. Let's roll back to the unpivoted column that we have performed. Next, we have the data type that you already know. The data type is something you want to change the type of the data. Let me change the name of this column, that is customer ID, and value will be quantity order per customer. Okay, let's move on to the split column. Split column, I have gave you the better understanding of this column, this transformation option into the previous video. You can check it out. It's basically separate elements of column into the multiple columns. Suppose I have something like I have the sales, like I want to change, I want to cut my date into the half, or after a particular delimiter is uh, a dash sign over here. I want three columns associated with it, like I want date in one column, month in another, and year in next column. So I will use that column, and split column will split these column into the three columns. Next we have the format option. If you want to format your string or your column in a particular format, like I want my sales data, a name or something, string character into the uppercase. I don't know, I don't have it. Like, let's jump into the geography. Like, I want my data to be in uppercase, then I can do this by simply clicking on the format option. You can see that all of the data that we have in the city column is converted into the uppercase character. Next we have a merge column. If we select the two columns, that is, if I want city and state to be merged with each other, then I will click on this merge column, and I will have the option to choose the separator that I want to separate these two columns with. I will use a comma, and the column name is city and state. You can see that my both the columns is converted into the one column only. So this merge column will work like this. And if I want to extract something, the first few character or range or text before a particular delimiter, then we can use the extract option. Like let's change, sorry, I will click on the city and state. Let's change again that city and state column into the two columns. So I will extract the text before delimiter. Delimiter will be our comma. Let's see what we have. Start and input. Number of delimiter is skip. If I want to skip that delimiter, okay, I have cancelled it. Let me choose again. Delimiter is comma, then okay. Yeah, you can see that the state column is removed after this. So let's roll back to our column. You can simply click on this gear icon to edit your response that you have performed. You can also choose that if the checking of these options should be selected from the start or from the end. Suppose I want to extract the state from it, then I can use from the end as well. So let's cross it and merge column. Let's keep it the way it is. Next we have statistic functions with us. Suppose I want to see if the number of sales that I have, uh, then I can simply click on the selected column and use the maximum number or minimum number or sum of something, standard deviation, count values, etc. Then uh, then R and Python script, we will work on it in the next upcoming videos. So that's it with the transformation tab. I will explore more in the upcoming videos with add columns views tab. So stay tuned for the next video. Thanks.